Hello, everybody. I'm Miguel Sanchez, and welcome to episode 9 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. And before we begin, we have a new subscriber to the channel. First time I mentioned it here on the show, but yes, welcome to the channel. Total Tuesday Island Animation Channel is back. Yay! So thank you for coming. Total Tuesday Island Animation Channel is back. You are the newest subscriber to my channel, so thank you for subscribing. Man. Thank you so much. We're going to go check the show. I'll leave it on the top recording screen. If I can't find it, I'll leave it in the description below. Thank you for subscribing to Tuesday Island Animation Channel is back. You are the newest subscriber to my channel. Thank you so much. But now, back to business. We have news. We gotta take a look at our fourth package, the package film from Walt Disney Animation Studios. And I believe this is definitely what you do not want to miss out on. So, are you ready for it? Then let's get started. We're on episode 9, and today we're going to take a look at Fun and Fancy Free. Oh boy. This is definitely not a good time to take a look at, but we got to do it anyway. So yeah, let's do it. Man, these music packages, these package films make me dizzy, but we're gonna do it right now. So let's get started. And you have seen previous episode 8, where we took a look at Make My Music. I'll put a link up there on the top right corner of the screen where you can click it right whenever you want, however you want. But for now, let's just go ahead and jump right to it. All right, then let's get started. Here we go. So about the movie, Fun and Fancy Free is a 1947 American animated musical fantasy package film. Produced by Walt Disney and released on September 27, 1940 by RKO Radio Pictures. It's the 9th Disney animated feature film and the 4th of the package films the studio produced in the 1940s in order to save money during World War II. The Disney package films of the late 1940s helped finance Cinderella for 1950, which I'll talk about in the future episodes, so keep in mind when it comes out, and subsequent others, such as Alice in Wonderland for 1951 and Peter Pan for 1953. The film is a compilation of 2 stories, the first of which, Bongo, is hosted by Jiminy Cricket and narrated by Dinah Shore. Based on the tale Little Bear Bongo by Sinclair Lewis, Bongo tells the story of a circus bear cub named Bongo who longs for freedom from captivity. Bongo escapes the circus and eventually forms a romantic relationship with a female bear cub named Lulubelle in the wild, realizing that he must prove himself in order to earn Lulubelle as his mate. The second story, Mickey and the Beanstalk, is narrated by Edgar Bergen and is a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk, featuring Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as three peasants who discover the temperamental Willie the Giant's castle in the sky through the use of some magic beans. They must battle the greedy but lovable giant in order to restore peace to their valley. Though the film is primarily animated, it also uses live-action segments to join its 2 stories together. Mickey and the Beanstalk was the last time Walt Disney voiced Mickey Mouse, because he was too busy on other projects to continue voicing the character. Disney replaced himself with sound effects artist Jimmy McDonald. So, yeah, that's very shit. That was the final film to have Walt Disney play the voice of Mickey Mouse before Jimmy McDonald took over as the new voice of Mickey. So, yeah, I know that we all wanted took over before his death, and now, most recently, Brett Iwan is the current voice of Mickey Mouse. So, yeah, I know. Going right to the stats here for the movie. Directed by Jack Kinney for animation, Bill Roberts also for animation, Hamilton Luske also for animation, and Will Morgan for live action. It's produced by Walt Disney, story by Homer Brightman, Elder Daniel Tagini, Lance Nolly, Tom Oreb, Harry Reeves, Ted Sears, based on the Little Bear Bongo by Sinclair Lewis for Bongo, and Jack and the Beanstalk for Mickey and the Beanstalk, starring Cliff Edwards, Edgar Bergen, Luanda Patton, Walt Disney, Clarence Nash, Pinto Kolovic, Ruth Clifford, Billy Gilbert, and Anita Gordon. Directed by Dinah Shore for Bongo and Edgar Bergen for Mickey and the Beanstalk. Produced by Oliver Wallace, Paul Smith, Elliot Daigle, and Charles Wolcott. Edited by Jack Backham. And production companies Walt Disney Productions. Distributed by RKO Radio Pictures. Release date September 27th, 1947. Running time is 73 minutes. For countries, United States. Language is English. And box office, $3,165,000 in worldwide rentals. So, yeah, now you know. Forgot to take out the number 1, but yeah, now you know. Let's get to the plot. Starting with Bongo. Jiminy Cricket first appears inside a large plant in a large house, exploring and singing, "I'm a happy-go-lucky fellow," which he happened to stumble upon a doll, a teddy bear, and a record player with some records, one of which is Bongo, a musical romance story narrated by actress Dinah Shore. Jiminy decides to set up the record player to play the story of Bongo. The story follows the adventures of a circus bear named Bongo who longs for freedom in the wild. Bongo is raised in captivity and is praised for his performances, but is poorly treated once he is off stage. As such, while traveling on a circus train, His natural instincts, the call of the wild, urge him to break free. As soon as he escapes and enters the forest, a day passes before his idealistic assessment of his new living situation has been emotionally shattered, and he experiences some hard conditions. The next morning, however, he meets a female bear named Lulabelle. The two bears immediately fall in love, until Bongo soon faces a romantic rival in the brutish, enormously shaped bear named Lumpjaw. Lumpjaw, he calls Bongo falls to interpret Lunabelle for slapping him as a sign of affection, and when she accidentally slaps Lumpjaw, he claims for him herself, forcing all other bears into a celebration for the happy new couple. Bongo comes to understand the meaning of slapping one another among the wild bears and returns to challenge Lumpjaw. He manages to outwit Lumpjaw for much of their fight, until the two fall into a river and go on a waterfall. While Lumpjaw is presumably swept away by the river and never seen again, Bongo's hat saves him from falling down, and finally claims Lunabelle as his mate. So that's it for Plot Bongo. Now we gotta take a look at the other story in Fun and Fancy Free, Mickey and the Beanstalk. So a lot to get to, so let's take a look. So yeah, this segment is narrated by Edgar Bergen in live-action sequences, who, with the help of his ventriloquist dummies Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Stern, tells the tale to child actress Luana Patton at her birthday party, with Jeopardy listening in after reading an invitation shortly after the previous story ended. A jovial countryside land called Happy Valley, kept alive at all times by a singing harp, is suddenly plagued by a severe drought and falls into turmoil and depression after the harp is stolen from the castle by a mysterious assailant, also nicknamed Gruesome Gulch. The residents are driven into poverty and have no choice but to leave in order to avoid death by starvation. Eventually, only 3 residents are left: Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. The trio have been but just one loaf of bread and a single solitary bean to eat. During this time, Mickey has no choice but to cut the bread into paper-thin slices for the 3 friends to eat. Driven insane by his hunger, Donald gets into rage, complaining that he cannot stand it anymore. He makes a sandwich out of plates and silverware, but Mickey and Goofy stop him and manage to calm him down. He then seizes an axe and attempts to kill their pet cow for beef with an axe, but Mickey and Goofy manage to stop him again. Mickey then decides to sell the cow for money to buy food. Goofy and Donald are excited about eating again and begin to sing about delicious dishes to the tune of Funiculi. Until Mickey comes back and reveals that he sold the cow in exchange for a container of beans that are said to be magical. Thinking that Mickey had been tricked, an enraged Donald throws the beans down the floor, and they fall through a hole. However, it turns out that the beans are truly magical, and after all, as later that night, the light of a full moon causes a beanstalk to sprout from under the house and lift it far up into the sky. So next morning, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy find themselves at the top of the gigantic beanstalk and in the magical kingdom of enormous scope, where they appear to be tiny creatures compared to their surroundings. They eventually make their way to a huge castle where they help themselves to a sumptuous feast. There, they stumble upon the harp locked inside a small box, and she explains that she was kidnapped by a wicked giant. Immediately after, a giant named Willie emerges from the shadows, grunting angrily while simultaneously breaking into a happy song, 3, 5, 4, thumb, and bouncing a ball about while demonstrating his powers of flight, invisibility, and shape-shifting. As Willie prepares to eat lunch, he catches Mickey hiding in his sandwich after Mickey sneezes when Willie pours pepper onto the sandwich. Mickey tries to run away, but Willie catches him, Mickey then plays palm reader and gains the childish giant's trust. While Willie offers to show off his powers, and Mickey, spotting a nearby fly swatter, requests that he change himself into a fly. However, Willie suggests turning into a pink bunny instead, and he does see Mickey, Donald, and Goofy with the fly swatter. Angry, Willie captures Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and locks them in the harp's chest, and so as to keep them from pulling any more tricks. In order to escape, Mickey must find the key and rescue his friends. He does so with the help of the singing golden harp, who begins singing Willie to sleep. Mickey almost alerts Willie to his presence by sneezing after falling into a box of snuff powder in Willie's pocket. But the same powder makes Willie sneeze and he loses sight of Mickey. Mickey frees his friends and they make a break for it with the harp. However, Willie wakes up from his sleep and spots them, giving chase all the way to the beanstalk. Mickey stalls him for long enough for Donald and Goofy to reach the bottom as they begin to saw down the beanstalk. Mickey arrives just in time to finish the job of sawing down the beanstalk. And Willie, who was climbing down, falls to his apparent death. Back at Edgar Berger's home, he finishes the story, saying that with the return of the harp, Happy Valley returned to prosperity. He then cheers up Wetter's nerd, who was crying about Willie's death, saying that Willie was a nice giant who did not deserve to die. Just as Edgar says that Willie is a fictional character and not real, Willie himself appears, alive and well, tearing the roof off his house. Willie inquires about Mickey's whereabouts, but Edgar fades in shock while Mortimer tells Willie good night. The scene closes with Chimney leaving the house into the night, and Willie, noticing the Brown Derby restaurant and putting it on like a hat before stopping off to buy Mickey, with the Hollywood lights blinking in the background. So there you have it. That's the plot for both Bongo and Mickey the Beanstalk. As we take a look at the cast, Edward McGurk as himself, John McCarthy, and Whatever Stern, Luana Patton as herself, Dina Shore as the singer and narrator of Bongo, Cliff Edwards as Jiminy Cricket, Walt Disney as Mickey Mouse, Clarence Nash as Donald Duck, Peter Kolvig as Goofy, Ruth Clifford as Minnie Mouse, Billy Gilbert as Willie the Giant, and Nita Gordon as the Singing Harp, and the Kingsmen as the Happy Valley Crows. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at production. During the 1940s, Mickey and the Beanstalk and Bongo were originally going to be developed as two separate feature films. In the late 1930s, Mickey's popularity fell behind Donald Duck, Goofy, Pluto, Max Fleischer's Popeye, and Warner Bros.' Porky Pig. To boost his popularity, Disney and artists created cartoons such as Brave Little Tailor and The Sorcerer's Apprentice, the latter of which was included in Fantasia in 1940. In early 1940, during production on Fantasia, the animators Bill Cottrell and Dee Hee pitched the idea of a feature film based on Jack and the Beanstalk, starring Mickey Mouse as Jack, with Donald Duck and Goofy as supporting characters. When they pitched it to Disney, he burst out laughing with tears rolling down his cheeks with joy. As Cottrell and he later recalled, Disney enjoyed the pitch so much he invited other employees to listen to it. However, he said that as much as he enjoyed the pitch of the film itself would never go into production because, as Disney claimed, they murdered his characters. However, Cottrell and he were able to talk to Disney into giving it the green light and story development as The Legend of Happy Valley, which began production on May 2nd, 1940. The original treatment was more or less the same as what became the final film. However, there were a few deleted scenes. For example, there was a scene in which Mickey took the cow to market where he meets Honest John and Gideon from Pinocchio, who caught him into trading his cow for the magic beans. Another version had a scene where Mickey gave the cow to the Queen, played by Minnie Mouse, as a gift, and in return, she gave him the magic beans. However, both scenes were cut when the story was trimmed for fun and fancy-free, and the film does not explain how Mickey got the beans. Shortly after the rough animation on Dumbo was completed in May 1941, The Legend of Happy Valley went into production, using many of the same cast, although RKO doubted it was a success. And I forgot to take out the number 4. It's in parentheses, so sorry, I forgot to take it off right here. Sorry about the people. Since it was a simple, low-budget film, in 6 months, 50 minutes had been animated on Happy Valley. Then, on October 27, 1941, due to the Disney animators strike and World War II, which had cut off Disney's foreign release market, the cost which had cut off Disney's foreign release market, caused serious deaths. So Disney put The Legend of Happy Valley on hold. Meanwhile, production was starting on Bongo, a film based on the short story written by Sinclair Lewis for Cosmopolitan magazine in 1930. It was suggested that Bongo could be a sequel to Dumbo, and some of the cast from the 1941 film would appear as supporting characters. However, the idea never fully materialized. In earlier drafts, Bongo had a chimpanzee as a friend and a partner in his circus act. She was called Beverly, then Chippy, but the character was ultimately dropped when condensed to see the story. Bongo and Chippy also encountered two mischievous bear cubs who were dropped. Originally, the designs for the characters were more realistic, but when paired for Fun and Fancy Free, the designs were simplified and drawn more cartoony. The script was nearly completed by December 8, 1941, the day after the attack on Pearl Harbor. On that same day, the United States military took control of the studio and commissioned Walt Disney Productions to produce instructional and war propaganda films in which pre-production work on Bongo and early versions of Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan were shelved. And Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan will be discussed in future episodes, so keep an eye for it when it comes out. During and after the war, Disney stopped producing single narrative feature films due to costs and decided to make package films consisting of animated shorts to make feature films. He did this during the war on Saludos Amigos and The Three Caballeros, and continued after the war until he had enough money to make a single narrative feature again. Saludos Amigos was on episode 6, and The Three Caballeros was on episode 7. Gave these 2 episodes a watch, you haven't seen them yet. Disney felt that since the animation of Bongo and The Legend of Happy Valley, which had been renamed Mickey and the Beanstalk, was not sophisticated enough to be a Disney animated feature film, the arts decided to include the story in a package film. Throughout the 1940s, Disney had suggested to pair Mickey and the Beanstalk with The Wind and the Willows, which was in production around this time, into a package film tentatively titled Two Fabulous Characters, which ultimately Mickey and the Beanstalk was cut from Two Fabulous Characters and paired with Bongo instead. By late 1947, Two Fabulous Characters was paired with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and retitled The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And yes, I'll be talking about that on episode 11 of the series, so keep an eye for it when it comes out. Disney had provided the voice for Mickey Mouse since its debut in 1928, but Fancy Free was the last time he would voice the role regularly, as he no longer had the time or energy to do so. Disney recorded most of Mickey's dialogue in the spring and summer of 1941. Sound effects artist Jimmy McDonald will become the character's new voice actor starting in 1948. Disney, however, did not reprise the role for the introduction to the original 1955 to 59 run of the Mickey Mouse Club. Celebrities Edgar Bergen and Dina Shore introduced the segments in order to appeal to a mass audience. Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio sings I'm a Happy-Go-Lucky Fellow, a song written for and cut from Pinocchio before its release. So, there you go. That's pretty much it. Let's take a look at reception. Starting with critical reception. Bosley Crowther of the New York Times favorably stated that within the familiar framework of the Walt Disney story cartoon, that magical gentleman and his associates had knocked out a gay and colorful show. Nothing brave and inspired, but just plain happy. And while the emphasis is more on the first part than on the second part of that cop-out, it's okay. The New Yorker wrote critically on the film, stating that Walt Disney, who seems to have been aiming more mediocrity in his recent productions, has not even hit his mark with this film. Time was similarly critical of the film, stating that in spite of the Disney technical skill, it has never been a very good idea to mix cartoons and live actors. With genial showmanship, Mr. Bergen and company barely managed to save their part of the show. Most of the Bongo section is just middle-grade Disney, not notably inspired. And once Mickey and friends get involved with Willie, the whole picture peters out and becomes as oddly off-balance and inconsequential as its title. Barbara Showgasser Parker of Common Sense Media gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, praising the hand-drawn, frame-by-frame animation of the film and citing it as example of the Disney accomplishment of Anna Finesse. She recommended the film to children who can handle peril and cartoon violence. TV Guide gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, claiming that the Bongo portion of the film is maudlin and overlooked, but that the Mickey and the Beanstalk portion is highly amusing. Praising character actor Billy Gilbert's characterization of Willie, the animation in the film, the live-action footage with Edgar Bergen and his dummies, and Cliff Ukulele Edwards' performance. Cliff Ukulele Ike Edwards' performance as the voice of Jiminy. They noted that the film is a relatively minor work in the Disney whatever, but still quite entertaining. Justin Putman reviewed the film with 2.5 stars out of 4, stating that Bongo is frequently delightful, but with one caveat. It's clearly antiquated in its views of romance and gender roles. The party message that a couple should say that they love each other with a slap is bizarrely funny for all the wrong reasons. They also describe Mickey and the Beanstalk as an amiable but forgettable telling of Jack and the Beanstalk. Review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported that 75% of critics gave the film positive reviews based on 8 reviews with an average rating of 6 out of 10. Yeah, 6/10. I know. Its consensus states that though it doesn't quite live up to its title, Fun and Fancy Free has its moments. It's a rare opportunity to see Mickey, Donald, and Goofy together. So that's everything you need to know for the reception. Moving on to the box office. By the end of its theatrical run, the film had grossed $3,165,000 in worldwide rentals, with $2,040,000 being generated in the United States and Canada. So, let's get to the song featured in the film, starting with Bongo. We go through number, then title, the writers, and performers. Here you go. Number 1, Fun and Fancy Free, written by Benny Benjamin and George David Weiss, performed by Cliff Edwards in the chorus. Number 2, I'm a Happy-Go-Lucky Fellow, written by Ned Washington and Elliot Daniel, performed by Cliff Edwards. Lazy Countryside, written by Bobby Worth, performed by Dina Shore. Too Good to Be True, written by Buddy Daniel. Written by Buddy K and Elliot Daniel, performed by Dina Shore. Same with a Slap, written by Buddy K and Elliot Daniel. Performed by Dina Shore and the chorus. And number 6, Too Good to Be True, reprise. Yeah, the reprise, written by Buddy K and Elliot Daniel, performed by Dina Shore. Over to Mickey and the Beanstalk. Here are the songs for that film. Number 1, My What a Happy Day, written by Bill Walsh and Roy Noble, performed by Anita Gordon. Eat Until I Die. Number 2, Eat Until I Die. No worries for this one, performed by Peter Colvig and Clarence Nash. I forgot to take out the other line from Peter Colvig, but that's okay. Number 3, Fee Fi Fo Fum, written by Paul J. Smith, performed by Billy Gilbert. Number 4, My Favorite Dream, Bill Walsh and Ray Noble, written by Bill Walsh and Ray Noble, performed by Anita Gordon. And finally, number 5, Fun and Fancy Free, reprise, written by Benny Benjamin and George David Weiss, performed by Cliff Edwards and a chorus. And that's the song for the film. Moving on to release for home media. Fun and Fancy Free was first released on VHS in 1982. It was re-released on VHS and Laserdisc in 1997 as part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. The film was re-released on VHS and made its DVD debut on June 20th, 2000 as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classics Collection. The film was released in a 2-movie collection, Blu-ray, with The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad on August 12th, 2014. Again, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad will be on episode 11, so keep an eye for when it comes out. Now for the availability of the shorts as separate features. Although the 2 shorts were not individual full-length features as what the original intention, they did air as individual episodes on Walt Disney's anthology TV series in the 1950s and 60s. So yeah, starting with Bongo. Bongo aired as an individual episode on a 1955 episode of the Walt Disney Anthology series with new introductory segments, which uses Jiminy Cricket's narration and the singing in Leo of Dina Shore's. The short was released separately in 1989 in the Walt Disney Mini Classics line. So there you go. And in Mickey and the Beanstalk, in 2004, the theatrical version of Mickey and the Beanstalk with Edgar Bergen's narration was released as a bonus feature on the Walt Disney Treasure set Mickey Mouse in Living Color, Volume 2. The short aired as an individual episode on the Walt Disney Anthology series twice, with new introductory segments. First, in 1955, with Sterling Holloway replacing Edgar Bergen as the narrator after being introduced by Walt Disney. Holloway's narration was released as a standalone short in such venues as the 1980 television series Good Morning Mickey. This version also frequently aired alongside Dumbo during the 1980s. A brief clip of this version was one of many featured in Donald Duck's 50th birthday. Mickey and the Beanstalk airs as a short film on a 1963 episode of the Walt Disney Anthology series with new introductory segments. Lyndon Von Drake, voiced by Paul Frees, replaces Edgar Bergen as the narrator in the 1963 version, for which he had a booty beetle companion named Herman, replacing the sassy comments of Edgar Bergen's ventriloquist dummy, John McCarthy. In the short film version of the feature, Lyndon Jake reads a book about how fairy tales in which he shows 4 pictures and clips from a few of Disney's most well-known animated features, including The Evil Queen, transforming herself into an old hag in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937, and Maleficent, and then transforming herself into a dragon in Sleeping Beauty from 1959. The Ludwig von Drake version of Mickey and the Beanstalk was released separately in 1988 in the Walt Disney Mini Classics line. This version was then re-released in 1994 as part of the Disney Favorite Stories collection. The Ludwig von Drake version of the feature is available as part of the Disney Animation Collection, Volume 1. A third version of Mickey and the Beanstalk was featured on the Disney television show The Mouse Factory, which aired from 1972 to 1974. This version starred Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. So, yay. Now you know, my friends, now you know. And finally, for the direct-to-animators, Ward Kimball as for the Bongo 7, Bongo meets Lupshaw, Les Clark for the animation supervision on Bongo, John Lounsbury for Woody the Giant, Fred Moore for Bongo meets Little Bill and Mickey Mouse, Wolfgang Reitherman for Goofy, Mickey, and Donald, Starvation Sequence, and finally our Batman for Bongo. So that's very good, and that's the end of Final Fantasy 3. Yay! Final rating for the story for the movie. I know you guys, but Final Fantasy 3 just killed it. Definitely one of the best stories I ever listened to my whole life. But yes, now you know, I get the point. It's over here to say. Therefore, I'm just going to stand on rating Final Fantasy 3 with a score of 8 out of 10. Great story. Nothing else to worry about here. And in the end, I just want to say that this story killed it. This movie is one of the prestigious of all time. Give it a watch. I highly recommend you go do so. If you haven't seen yet, what are you waiting for? Go watch it. I highly recommend you do so. But that's only my personal and conservative opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree with any thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. With that, guys, it's all over. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Man, I can't believe it. It's finally over. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video, share with friends, leave a comment below, please. Subscribe with notifications turned on to never miss another new video from me as we are on the road to 700 subscribers. I'm going to say it again when we get to that part. But yes, we do have Moshi Sleep Story Reactions and Moshi Monster Survivor later on today. Another busy day here on YouTube, but we got to do it anyway. So with that, guys, everything must come to an end. Thank you so much for you all for watching today. And we will see you on the next episode of the series. Until then, I'm Miguel Sanchez, you myself, and I will see you next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Join me next time for episode 10 as we take a look at our 5th Disney animated package film, Melody Time. So get ready for it. It's going to be a good old time. Yeah, that's right. Melody Time. That'll be next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. In the meantime, we got Moshi Sleep Story Reactions and Moshi Monsters by me later on for free today for your viewing pleasure. And on Friday, we do have the Moshi Mashup League Season 1, Day 9 coming your way on Friday. So we will see you there. For now, thanks for watching. Until the next time we see you, amigos, please remember to leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, turn on notifications to never miss a new video. Subscribe to notifications, turn on to never miss another new video from me as we are on the road to 700 subscribers. What a visual, friends. Thank you so much for watching. You have a fantastic day, and we will talk to you next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios for episode 10 as we take a look at Melody Time. Got it? Good. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for new episodes of Moshi Sleep Story Reactions and Moshi Monsters by Feet later on today. I'm Miguel Sanchez. God bless. Happy game before we hear Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Thanks to the end. And the power will protect you always, my friends. Always. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, fair, subscribe. We'll see you in another video.